In February 2005, YouTube went live online, launching one of the most popular social media sites ever conceived. Since then, plenty of social media sites have emerged, making it easier than ever to stay in the loop, that including television. With the excess of social media sites, the way we have viewed television has changed forever. Within the first half of the 1900s, the world was introduced to television. While the invention is still around and constantly evolving today, it can take some of its growth with the help of another influence that has spread like wildfire. Thanks to social media, not seeing a live broadcast doesn't mean you have to be out of the loop. Social media platforms has also made it easier as ever for fans of specific shows to be able to follow the lives of their favorite personalities, fellow fans, and even in some situations, allow you to follow the station that broadcasts the show. Social media has shown to increase the number of views a program will receive. In a year-long poll that began in 2012 by Nielsen.com, they asked various questions related to viewer experience. 18% of people in 2012 jumped to 25% when asked how aware they were of the program they were watching. Another notable percentage is the 11 to 15% increase viewers felt when they asked if they were able to enjoy television more, thanks to the added awareness. Before social media, anything on live TV meant that if you missed a show or televised event, usually the only way to find out what would happen would be to ask a friend or wait until next week's installment. A brand in particular that stressed this notion would be the World Wrestling Entertainment Industry, formerly referred to as the World Wrestling Federation. In the early years, the WWE stressed to fans that the only way to know what happens on their weekly shows, you would need to tune in live every Monday and Thursdays. At one point, they even flat out boasted that there were no reruns for the Giants. Now with social media, if you were to miss a main event match, all you have to do is search what happened no more than 5 minutes later. Some users on social media even write play-by-plays of the entire match, making it possible to know everything that happened, even if you didn't even watch a second of the action. With the aid of social media, internet personalities could come to fruition at any given.
We'll get to the weekend's developments in the presidential race in a moment. We got a lot of news for you.
Yeah.
I just wonder, though, what you all think of this zoo story. It's not really us, but I asked you guys about it right before the show started, and you all started talking.
Because we all have kids that age. I will confess to having very little objectivity. I love gorillas. I don't think you ever want to harm an animal, but I've got a 4-year-old kiddo, and if I was a crappy enough mother that my kiddo ended up in the enclosure, I would want them to do exactly what they did.
All right. Well, this is the sense.
Notice. In May 2016, a 17-year-old gorilla named Harambe was shot and killed in captivity in order to protect a small child who had mistakenly fell into the path of the gorilla. What might have been forgotten about a decade ago sparked into an internet sensation after news had broke on television. Dr. Phil and his show has been around for over 15 years now, and various scenes from his show can be found relatively easy. Not only does it expose more audiences to the show, but even puts his subject in the spotlight as well, with the most recent being 13-year-old Danielle Bergoli. Bergoli was brought into the show because of her mother's desperate attempt to change her daughter's behavior. However, the appearance on the show did anything but improve her attitude.
Then I do my time in jail. Jail ain't nothing. That's what I always do, and they never catch me. Ain't nobody gonna catch me.
Because you're too streetwise?
Yup. And all these hoes laughing like something funny.
She's talking about the audience, that they're laughing at her.
Did you say the hoes are laughing?
Yep.
So the audience are a bunch of hoes?
Yep. Catch me outside. How about that?
Huh?
Catch me outside. How about that?
Catch you outside? What does that mean?
What I just said.
Catch her outside means she'll go outside and do what she has to do. That's what she's talking about.
Oh, yeah,
this
yeah,
is
okay,
all,
yeah.
This is all, but don't you see that this is all mouth? This is mouth.
Oh,
Do you want to take this outside? Because I think they can bring cameras outside.
Really? Because I think I flipped you.
You want to do it again?
Daddy, don't get all tough. Please don't. This is not the place,
Hey,
and this is not
sit
the time.
down.
Sit down.
All right, then.
However, the appearance on the show did anything but improve her attitude. Instead, she's become an internet sensation, countlessly referenced throughout social media platforms. Because of this, she's been approved to even have her own reality TV show. The platform was Dr. Phil, but the spaceship to superstardom arguably isn't available if social media doesn't play its crucial part in getting her even more exposure. Game shows as well are constantly always evolving, with the programming usually going past the cameras to keep the audience engaged as possible. Shows like Dancing with the Stars and American Idol initially tally votes using dedicated phone lines and text messaging from across the nation. With the introduction of social media, using pound signs referred to as a hashtag, it became the dominant method for making your opinion known for the contestant you have the highest hopes for. Your hashtag will be counted along with many others who use the same sign for their choice. Television has withstood the test of time in phenomenal ways, constantly growing without losing ground on the inventions that seem to always spawn after it. While social media is still fairly new and fresh, it's hard to argue that it already hasn't changed the way we watch television forever.